Then I'll go through a sample incident response lifecycle. So at the heart is hoping everyone is able to see these. So at the heart is SIM and other specialized tools. So we have all the data coming inside from these IT assets. So these security devices or all the assets, they are generating logs and events. So they are being pushed into the SIM. Okay. Then we have the cyber threat intel and vulnerability information. So these is being collected by analysts around the clock. So these sensors and SIM, all of the security devices. So they are basically fed these intelligence into these devices. Then we have a trending and fusion analyst. So we have people searching for threat intel and vulnerabilities. They find some vulnerability. They see that okay, this port is now susceptible to some vulnerability that has been discovered. So they tune their system for that. So this is being done. Then we have IT assets getting this data. So all of these sensor tuning, that is also being fed into SIM and other specialized tools. Then we have the incident reports coming from the constituent. So some breach suppose has occurred. So how the breach occurred, what was the how was the attacker able to get inside. So this that report, after analysis, that is also fed into the SIM. So all of the data related to attacks, all of the logs and all of the new intel, that is fed into this central SIM and all the other tools. So these are used to generate trends. They are real time monitoring is done. Then we have analytics. We correlate them. So this is a suppose incident has occurred. So we put that incident information also. So the case case is managed, and history is also analysis, historical analysis also done. There's some breach, similar kind of thing occurred in the past too, or some attacker IP that was also involved previously also. So all of these things are done in all these tools. Now most of the cases, 70, 80, 90% cases are handled at the tier 1 analyst only. So basic security incident SOPs already created, and some IP is continuously trying to scan. This is a type of incident that I'm telling you. Some IP, some other country IP is trying to scan one particular IP of your organization. Some random ports are being scanned. Some open port, if able to find or not. So basically, if the SOP says, then we usually block that IP. So at the firewall level, so that he is not able to do any mischief. So basic incidents are being handled by the tier 1 only. Now there are some cases that need to be escalated. So we have a tier 2 analyst. We have a team for them. So they also sit. They usually do not sit around the clock. So they usually work in the more not they do not work at night mostly. So it depends, because a number of cases are more than we need to have around the clock also. So they do the in-depth analysis of a new security incident kind of thing. Old or regular and managed, but new needs to be escalated. Then we have a tier 2 analyst for them. So they also coordinate and consult with the system owners to fine tune the system. Okay, this was a security incident. The attacker was able to get inside like this. So we need to do our systems, we need to modify our systems like this. So he coordinates and consults the system owners and system admins. And also they prepare in-depth analysis reports. So they also capture some traffic or some malware samples if we have found. So they do the analysis for them. So then they basically say how to respond. So do we need to block it? Do we need to deactivate a user account? So we need to refer outside. So this is basically a decision taken at the tier 2 or tier 3. So it depends. We have Tier 2, L1, L2, L3, we have a L1, L2. So it depends upon the size of the organization. So this is one, sample incident response, life cycle, or how the, events are managed in a SOC. Okay. So then I'll, just covering a little bit of threat hunting. So threat hunting is basically, you assume that, okay, a breach has occurred in your organization. So threat hunters basically find, in the security device or other types of devices, some breach if has already occurred. So they assume that a breach has occurred. Now they need to find that breach. Okay, so they assume that the already secure infrastructure that has been breached. Okay, and the attacker is sitting inside their network. So basically, that is called a threat hunting. So it is a practice of proactively searching for cyber threats, that are getting undetected in a network. So they are already there. We need to detect them. So proactive, searching for these threats is called cyber threat hunting. So this threat hunting also digs deep to find the malicious actors in the environment that have slipped past the initial endpoint security. So they are past the initial endpoints and inside the network. Okay. So this is basically process of senior and experienced cyber professionals, proactively, using manual or machine-based techniques to identify the security incidents or threats. So basically automated alerts are not generated for these alerts. So we need to manually, find them. Okay. So that is called a hunting. Now there is a cyber kill chain process. So all of these 7 steps that you are seeing. So this is a cyber kill chain process of Lockheed Martin. So I'll go one by one what the process is like. So basically for a cyber breach or a cyber incident to occur. So first step is usually the reconnaissance. So reconnaissance involves scanning. So they, attacker tries to scan the entire network of an organization. So what all devices are there, what all security infrastructure, or what all, servers are there, which type of application server is there, which hardware, or which Cisco devices there, or some other organizations, companies devices there. So basically they scan the network to find to and create a map. Okay, so this organization looks like this. So this is the first step for any attack to occur. So this is called reconnaissance. Then the second step is weaponizing. So the attacker creates a Leo document. So you must have heard about the phishing emails that come and they have attachment into them. So we are told not to click those attachments because they are basically malware samples, and and they create a a Leo document. So basically they find a bait so that a person clicks for it. Okay, so we do not need to click on them. So basically weaponized states has a creation of a Leo document so that the user clicks on it and that PDF or exe or Excel executes. Then the third step is delivering. So we need there's phishing here. So there's a new concept of a spear phishing, if you know. So spear phishing is basically targeted phishing. So suppose we are here 50 participants attending this ICR workshop for cybersecurity. Now a mail comes and the attacker has studied a lot of things. So it delivers to all these 50 participants, and it is related to some ICR program. So maybe a schedule is there. So a user is tempted, okay, all of these people I know, they are here only in this mail. So this, will be the schedule. But this was not the schedule. This was, a malicious email that was spear phished to all of the participants. So these things happen. They happen day in, day out. Spear phishing. This is very common right now. And, spear phishing is very dangerous also. So this sample or malware is delivered through the spear phishing. So this is the third stage of a delivery. Then if the user by mistakenly clicks on that attachment, then the malware gets executed. So that is called an exploit stage. So that is the fourth stage. Now first, second, and third stage, the systems were not infected. Now, if whenever the that attachment or it is clicked, so the malware gets executed and it is inside the network. So this is a breach started. So this is called as a exploit stage. Okay, now that malware depends how it is configured or what type of malware is there. So it basically it can download additional malwares. It can try to contact its command and control server and do a variety of tasks. So that is the fifth stage of a control. So it depends upon the type of the malware or type of attack that is being getting done. Then the sixth stage is the execute. So whenever the additional malwares have been downloaded, they move internally to other networks, other devices, take the control. They find the data they want and they exfiltrate it. So this is basically the execute stage. Then in the last stage, so it is basically overlapping with the 6 months. So that is maintaining. So they leave behind a backdoor. So whenever later on they want to come, the attackers they come through that backdoor and they have a command and control C2 server as we call it. So basically this is a steps of the cyber kill chain process. So how a cyber attack basically occurs. So we need a lot of experience and skilled people you know to gauge these attacks, try and control these attacks. See, you can't stop them, they will happen, and we need to up our expertise so that they occur. Say they do not occur, but stopping them is a really tough task right now. So this is a threat hunting or a cyber kill chain process that I just explained.